Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally, Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes, they meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the science media cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
I want to trust that each one of us watching us is well on the Face the Nation. My name is Norman Tumhimbise. As our pledge to ensuring that we do civic education, we always bring to you people that have done great work, people that are yet to do great work, people that can advise others to do great work, so that we can build this nation together. Tonight, call it Friday evening, 5 to 6 p.m. on Face the Nation. We are grateful to have one of the 8 presidential candidates, Mr. Frank Bulira. As of now, he's the party flag bearer for Revolutionary People's Party. They rebranded, for, if I may say, but of course will give us some heads up precisely on the why they did rebrand to a new party. He's one of the 8 that are moving throughout this country to look for votes and convince voters so that they can be entrusted with the presidency of this country, Uganda, which has been led by General Museveni for, with no doubt, 40 years. I do not know whether he's here to simply push the man just because he has overstayed, or Mr. Bulira Frank and his team are here to reform the entire country. Mr. Bulira, I should say a good evening, sir.
Good evening to you, Mr. Norman, and viewers.
Glad for creating time and coming by, because I know you have a busy schedule, a presidential material, traversing the whole country, but by God's grace, I know it's not been easy to have you here. Thank you once again, and never take your appearance and time for granted.
Thank you. And thanks for the invite.
Thank you again. Why did you rebrand?
Yeah, first of all, my name is Bulira Frank Kabinga. I was the former personal assistant to the late Dr. Agre Chiyingi, and our organization was UFDO, Uganda Federal Democratic Organization, which I took over after the loss of our founding father, Dr. Chiyingi. All along, we've wanted to participate in the politics of the Republic of Uganda freely and democratically under our umbrella UFDO. But remember, UFDO was a pressure group or a movement, and we wanted to go legal and reform, rebrand, and we match up with the current trends. So we wanted to register a party, UFDO, from the times of Dr. Chiyingi, but all along we were denied a chance to register UFDO as a party. Remember, we had been branded as rebels, as being connected to ADF, as UFDO being behind several attacks, murders, etc.
Just a second there, Mr. Bulira Frank.
Yes.
You are a Muganda by tribe, and
Yes.
as Baganda, we have a saying that awali omukatwa bulamuliro. Why do you think you were branded as rebels?
I think it was just panic from Mr. Museveni.
Why
because,
not others? Why you?
You know, Mr. Museveni is so funny. You can tell someone he fears. He feared Dr. Chiinji from the start. It's not that Dr. Chiinji has ever killed anyone or he has ever attacked any police station, because even the cases that were put on him...
He may not attack in particular, but he may sponsor the attackers.
Okay, all those were raised. Many of our members were arrested. For instance, Aisha Nakasibante, the sister-in-law to Dr. Chiinji, the brothers-in-law were arrested, extradited from Dubai to Nalufenya. But they were innocent boys being in castle business. But since they had a lot of money, Mr. Museveni feared and suspected that maybe they are the ones used to bring in Dr. Chiinji's money. And at the end, they were exonerated and released with no evidence, meaning there was no evidence that we are connected to ADF or we are involved in any subversive activities. Even Dr. Chiinji, by the time he died, he was exonerated by courts of Uganda. Government failed to produce him to court, even to produce sufficient evidence that he murdered the sheikhs, he participated in rebellion, he funded ADF. But right now we are seeing the Nixon Agasires and others being brought to court on the same charges which were put on Dr. Chiinji.
So having had that dark background, is it the reason for which you consider to rebrand?
Yes, we consider to rebrand because since they are tainted out to be rebels, a rebel cannot come to register a party. We said let us register the party, but since everything was foiled, wherever you could present UFD or they could see Dr. Chiinji, they could see ADF. So we said let's go and take on a party which is fully registered. So we looked at the different parties which are registered with the Electoral Commission, and we found out that RPP, which was led by Mr. Joshua Clinton Kaswabuli, was one of the parties with whom we shared the same ideas, values, and vision. It has more so the core of federal. It is the party which had the core of federal being written openly in black and white in their constitution. So we decided to come to terms with them and move on under the RPP vehicle.
So in short, you are a federalist, but before we even reach there, first of all, what informed your candidature to lead this country?
Sorry?
What informed your candidature that of all people, you're like, I think
the
should
best
contest and be president of this country?
Of course, if Dr. Chiinji was around, I wouldn't have contested, because I contested first and foremost because I replaced him in the party after his demise. So I had, as a party, we sat and we agreed that we have to keep the legacy of Dr. Chiinji moving on. His spirit for federalism, plus the people he also followed, the Kairas and the Nkwangas of Uganda Federal Movement. So I'm just keeping the spirit of the Nkwangas, the Kaira and Dr. Chiinji moving on, the spirit of federalism. Because in the race, there is no candidate who is talking openly and boldly about federalism. All of them are just talking about, we want Mr. Museveni to go. They are not even showing us how they want Mr. Museveni to go. They are not even showing us the Uganda after Museveni. Let just Mr. Museveni go. If Mr. Museveni just goes and successfully we take him, we can have a turmoil like the one of Somalia in case we don't handle the transition cautiously and carefully. So that's why I came in, because I'm the only person, the new kid on the block. All the candidates have been around. We know their expertise. I don't want to talk about each and every one, but the Ugandans know each and every candidate. I find myself as the best suitable presidential candidate and the best suitable next president of the Republic of Uganda, because I'm new on the block. I have the contacts, local and externally. I have a clear background. Our vision is clear as the RPP and UFDO. We are for federal. We have a plan. a next plan of the Uganda after Mr. Museveni.
People will say that even when you say, because it's a two traffic, you are a new kid on the block who also comes with no experience. So how would you defend that?
You know,
Because people will say, but okay, look, Mr. Frank Bulira hasn't been LOC1 anywhere. He hasn't been MP anywhere. He hasn't been mayor anywhere. So doesn't that also bury your hope?
I will answer that. It is two in one. It doesn't necessitate anyone to having passed through all those from LOC1. We just crammed it as Ugandans.
Yeah, sure.
That because we have many people who have been tried and tested through all those ranks, LOC, chairman, mayor,
MP.
but they are cowardizing to contest for presidency. There are parties that have creams, like more than 10 people who can stand for presidency, like PFF, but they didn't field a presidential candidate. So me, I could not shy away or cowardize for my country. And taking on presidency doesn't necessitate one being a councillor, being a mayor. We have many people who are in those positions just by luck, but by not experience. Mr. Museveni has never been a mayor anywhere or an LOC3 councillor besides being a minister.
Yeah, someone will say he was deputy chairperson for military commission.
That was an appointment.
For defense. Maybe some people can say there is some bit of a track record of experience in governance and leadership. Maybe because,
Frank Bulira have also passed through a lot politically. I'm a product of the Ugandan Democrats. I'm a product of the Democratic Party. I joined active politics way back when I was still young, in early 90s, in CA times. I joined politics in CA times. We were one of the young boys when I was in primary school who were behind Honorable Waswa Lorraine in Lubaga North, who we were one of the young boys who were pinning Dr. Paul Kawanga's Semo Gerere's posters in Kampala. I passed through the earlier times of Uganda Young Democrats until I became part of the second generation of UID after the Luziges, Rosemond, Namayanjas. The next generation of UID that was led by Susan Abo. In fact, I led Susan Abo's campaign in Makerere to become guild president. I was the founder of UID in Chambogo University, and I brought Brenda Nabukenya, the Honorable MP for Luwero. I'm the one who brought her in politics, not even in presidence of the guild in Chambogo, but I inspired her and convinced her to come to UID, which finally brought her to be a member of parliament for now 2 terms.
Okay.
So, Bulira Frank, I think I have a background.
That is enough to justify your candidature.
To justify my candidature and to push me to presidency. I didn't come from nowhere. And apparently, in the situation where Uganda is, we may not even consider whether someone has been a councillor or a mayor before. We've had many, and they have not been able to even push Mr. Museveni an inch.
Okay, thank you. Our viewers, we are with Mr. Frank Bulira, and he's a presidential candidate for 2026, because come next year, January 15th, that's when Ugandans are expected to go and cast their vote. So he's one of the 8. And the purpose for which we are having him here is to give a summary of why he is contesting. Mr. Bulira Frank, a quick one for you, as with no doubt as a federalist. What are those problems that a unitary form of government, as we are, has caused that, in your view, can be solved with an alternative federal system?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Norman. Just as we say in our manifesto that Uganda has 2 big problems. One is Mr. Museveni, second is system of governance. Unitary system of governance. When we go federal, we think it will automatically solve the youth and young women unemployment problem. Automatically. Because the federal system of governance will automatically take the jobs to where the people stay. it will take the jobs to where the people come from, and it will relieve the central government and Kampala so many problems and issues. Federal system of government, for instance, we are looking at the 16 federal states making up Uganda, from Ankole to Kigezi. The 16 federal states will have an autonomy and will have a bigger share of the resources coming from the different regions, and a 40% or 45% coming to the central government. The federal governments will be in charge of screening people to be employed in the different localities, communities, and federal states. The federal government will prioritize area problems, do structural planning for the cities, and bury the bureaucracies and the procurement problems which we are now facing in the different ministries in the central government. Then the federal system of governance will bring about an end to people taking the president as a king. Everyone has to come to State House and kneel before Mr. Museveni to leave, including ministers. A minister can no longer do anything. Chiefs and other DCs cannot do anything before seeing Mr. Museveni. He has to be around to inaugurate and officially open up different roads and infrastructures countrywide. So the federal system of government will automatically empower the federal states be independent and not kneel before the president. It will trim the powers of the president, not in a bad way. It's only that Mr. Museveni wants everything to rotate around him. He wants everyone to come and kneel before him. I want to go for an operation in India. You have to meet the president in case you are to be operated. But instead, the federal system of government will just ensure that better hospitals are in every federal state, so that people can benefit from their taxes they are paying. Someone from, for instance, from Karamoja region, it doesn't need him to come to Kampala. We are seeing so many Karamajongs, young kids, being on the streets begging. Yeah. It hurts me when Karamoja region is one of the regions producing gold in bigger quantities, and gold is the most precious and valuable mineral in the whole world, second to oil. But Karamoja would be having gold souks, gold markets in Moroto, in Abim, in Nakapiriperit, but gold refineries are in Buziga, they are in Muyenga, benefiting Ugandans who are not coming from that area. And the area where gold is coming, the people are crying. There is nothing in Karamoja. There are no schools.
I have this for you. Sorry to interfere with your submissions. You see, Mr. Frank Bulira, your predecessors have done the same in terms of preaching the same gospel to Ugandans. Have you interrogated why Ugandans have not appreciated the preachings of your predecessors? And here comes a Bulira Frank, as young, in quotes, of course, and energetic though, as you are, that this time round they might understand the gospel. The gospel as Bulira Frank.
Yes, my predecessors have preached the message of change, but not the message of federalism.
Kaira was...
Kaira, I think it was unfortunate that we lost Kaira in the middle. But if Kaira had been successful with the struggle and not let me say, not killed before reaching prematurely. I think he would have delivered what I'm trying to push right now. I would have no reason for coming here if Kaira had not died, if Dr. Chinji had not died. In fact, by the time Dr. Chinji died, he was planning to come back to Uganda in any way. Much as Mr. Museveni had threatened that the moment he reaches Entebbe airport, straight to Luzira. But he was ready to come here. So the reason as to why I'm standing is because my predecessors are not here. And the people who are here, whom we would have trusted to take on the mantle of driving a federal system of government or a better plan for a new Uganda, when we look at all of them, They are having just rhetorics and the open same manifestos. These people are just focusing on having many members of parliament and having more money on their accounts, party accounts, to just enrich themselves. They are not focusing on removing Mr. Museveni and thinking of a Uganda after Museveni. How do we want a Uganda after Museveni? We all see, whether you are NRM or opposition, it is evident that Mr. Museveni is in the evening, is in his exit. So we need to sit. The NRMs are blindfolded. They're not taking time to think of a Uganda after Museveni. They're just like the ZANU-PF in Zimbabwe, who were just looking at Mr. Mugabe going and just looking at him. And same problem, the opposition was also, much as it was being intimidated, but it was doing less to see that they plan for a Zimbabwe after Mugabe. So we are in the same situation where Zimbabwe was. So that is why I'm coming out, because I'm seeing Mr. Museveni is exiting naturally. The opposition is not planning for a Uganda after Museveni. They are just looking at iPod money.
Where you belong.
The situation is putting me there automatically, but I'm putting myself out of them because I'm not proud of being opposition. Do you know that some of our opposition parties are just proud of being opposition? You know, we are the opposition leaders. It hurts me. But I believe that Mr. Museveni can lead the next opposition. He can be the next leader of opposition. Okay, but our fellow opposition members are just, in fact, they are fighting who should be the next leader of opposition. Okay, it is so shameful.
Let's go back a bit onto the message, the federal message. Do you, when you go home and reflect, do you think your message is understood so far with the time you've moved throughout the country?
It's unfortunate that I have not moved enough than the rest of the 7 candidates.
By the way, we shall even ask you that why.
Yes, I'll come to that. I've not moved enough, but just go on social media and see the trending of the new kid on the block. The trending shows someone who has a message and one who doesn't have a message. There are those, it's unfortunate that Ugandans are desperate for change. And they have been following so many people just because they have nothing to do. But when my message hit ground and hit the ears of Ugandans, people are now waking up to say that we think this is where hope is. My message is sinking slowly by slowly. And we've been moving before even this campaign.
But Mr. Bulira, I do not want to sound not hypothetical per se, or I don't know, not hypothetical. Yeah. Do you also consider all these numbers on social media as real, genuine ones, or rather, you know,
I'm the number one,
a bubble in space?
I'm one of the people who doesn't believe in crowd talk and and that kind of excitement, but what I mean is a debate, whether negative or positive. Yeah, sure. When you see people seated and debating about something negatively or positively, you know that in the long run, many others are learning and picking slowly by slowly. So it's not all about the trend of the trend of the discussions and the deliberations, but people coming to know about the different ideas that have not been presented by any other candidate. Candidates are just saying, we want Mr. Museveni out. Everyone is saying, Mr. Museveni must go. Yeah. But we are opening up Ugandans that we should, after going, we need to add on what are we planning after Museveni, so that we don't go in a turmoil as the other countries have gone to. We don't kill our mother old parties as the ZANU-PF and MDC did. MDC is now dead. It died with the Shanghai. Yeah, even the person who followed in after Shanghai also crossed to another party. The opposition became dead in Zimbabwe after it died with Mugabe, because it was not prepared enough for the future of Zimbabwe after Mugabe. And in the long run, Mnangagwa Crocodile ended up bouncing as a president. So my worry is seeing after 15th, Mr. Museveni being pushed, then the opposition not being organized enough, and the Emunangagwa from NRM, from within the system, taking over presidency. We will have wasted 40 years fighting Mr. Museveni.
Okay. We are with Mr. Frank Bulira as the presidential candidate. I must remind you, because January, just a few days from now, without generally speaking, but rather specifically speaking, I know you know that Uganda is being eaten up by corruption. What's your plan? Yeah,
first of all, corruption, as it has always been said that the fish rots from the head. The fish rots from the head, you always say so. And corruption in Uganda, corruption is in every country. And every country has different mechanisms of fighting corruption. But for Uganda's case, corruption is rotating around the presidency. It is coming because of sectarianism. Museveni has people he fears to talk about, he fears to blame, like the previous IGG who said that I've been fighting corruption, but the president told me that don't talk about those soldiers and the wealth they have accumulated. You don't know what they did for this country. Now you are killing an institution which would have fought corruption. You remember Honorable Waswalule when he was IGG, when the NRM had just come. Honorable Waswalule said, me when I was IGG, every thief I was chasing was running in the State House. So I just had to give up because it was the order of the day. So I think we just have to change government in this country. We change the system of governance, and we put on well streamlined policies that are going to fight corruption. Does that mean that with the policies we have as of now aren't as effective? They would be effective, but manipulated by the system of government. Because right now, Mr. Museveni appoints RDCs not on merit. I'm giving an example, RDCs and even ministers. There are so many ministers who are just appointed just because he did something to please the president. You look at people like Honorable Nyamutoro. I'm just giving an example. People like many MPs, the Baramus, the ministers like the Barams, who should not be even councillors, but they are ministers. How can you say you are going to fight corruption with the people who by just looks are incompetent, are not fit to be where they are? So if we are still having the president determining each and every policy, the president keeping all the powers in his hands under the unitary system, there is no way we can fight corruption. We just have to change the system of government where we have checks and balances, and people get ashamed. It's very hard for someone to really get involved in corruption when he knows that he was appointed where he's serving by the federal administration of the area where he's coming from. He will know that he's shaming his region. He will be easily circled and seen that so-and-so is shaming our region. So automatically corruption will be fought, just like in other countries where federal system of governance is working and federal structures are. I've been in UAE for quite a long time, and I always give it as an example that in UAE it is hard. You just see it that automatically it is forbidden to be involved in corruption. If you are working, for instance, in a Dubai municipality, you take Dubai as your father, your mother. If I eat any money, I'm eating my father's money, my mother's money. You know, if you are in Sharjah, you know that Sharjah is me. You know, automatically under the federal system, patriotism becomes automatic, and you just feel like you cannot cheat your country. Okay, thank you. Our viewers, in our few coming minutes, we should be getting out of here, but of course, with quite a number of questions that the presidential material candidate must answer to you, so that you, when you go into your ballot box come 15th, you are best informed, and then you weigh the manifestos of all these presidential candidates. Mr. Bulira, I know you know for a matter of fact
that Uganda is being eaten up by a large administration. People will mention 529 parliamentarians. I do not know how many councillors and mayors that this country has. As for the ministers, I know you know, and then the presidential advisors, what's the plan of your political party when it comes to managing the administration? Do you also want, even when, because you see, when you mention a federal system, that also now brings about the Buganda region having its parliament, you know, the Bachiga nation also having its parliament, the Sabine, you know, having their parliament. What is solving the other problem? Are you creating another problem, or rather, because we already have a very big administration. You know, the federal system also bring now even a bigger one, because every region will have its parliament.
You're very right, but it all rotates around again. It all goes back to leadership, because as other people we believe and we think we should have a lean government. A central government should have very few ministers, like 15 are enough, to run this country and to monitor. Then, in the federal states arrangements, there will automatically be the federal parliaments and governments. For instance, when you look at the Kenya's arrangement, it's not federal purely, but they have governors. But I've seen governors being treated as presidents in Kenya. Governors have they have a lot of powers, regional powers. In Kenya, no one wants to go and meet President Ruto unless you want a photo with the president, but not to go there and signs for you to get a job, signs for you to go and seek for an opportunity abroad or get a contract for road construction or housing. The governors do it all. So it is similar to the federal system that these federal states can be well independent and cater for the people in the different localities and regions. Yes, the parliaments, the regional parliaments will be there. The municipalities, the city planning authorities, they will be there in the different regions. But this country is very rich. The country is very rich. It's only that the money has just been embezzled and misused by the central government. Mr. Museveni sits there with these Nareisos and other people, and they just start dishing out sacks of money. This money is enough to pay the different workers, to pay the different service providers in the different regions. As per this federal setting we want, we believe that 65% of the revenue can remain in the federal states, and that other remaining percentage goes to the central government, meaning this bigger percentage can well be enough to do the services, to make up roads, to pay the different service providers and the staffs working for the regions, and even facilitate the federal parliaments. So it is just because Uganda has a problem of corruption, Uganda has a problem of everything rotating about the presidency and the president determining. They are supplementary, they are, how do they call them? The budget which has no questions. Classified budgets. The money used in the classified budgets in fighting useless wars can be taken to help the federal government survive. We have a lot of resources. Because if you make Karamoja the gold market for the Great Lakes region, whereby anyone gold from Central Africa comes here, gets refined in Karamoja, and even sold out. When Karamoja also has an independent airport in Moroto, or even if it's in Kapchora, meaning people will fly from Saudi Arabia, come to Kapchora or in Moroto, do gold research, do gold refinery, negotiate. The government, the federal government remains with the percentage from the gold sales, and also central government takes a percentage. The country will automatically be developing. Likewise with the oil-rich Bunyoro and Kayunga, it will be the same. The country will be moving on. Countries like Dubai, the UAE, there is a time we were on the same level with UAE during the times of Idi Amin Dada. You all well know that President Idi Amin one time gave food aid to UAE when they were starving. Even the little soil UAE has right now, it was got from Uganda. Amin put soil in the and took it to Uganda in the plains and took it to UAE, and they mixed up that little soil with the sand to make the little soil they have. Every tree in UAE has to have a tap irrigating it 2 times daily to survive. For us, we have trees which are growing naturally. We can't say that we cannot be far better than UAE. Right now, it is the capital city of the whole world, meaning Uganda is blessed. I have been buying fish in UAE, and when you are buying fish in a supermarket, to convince you that the fish is good, these Pakistanis have to tell you that this is tilapia from Lake Victoria. This is coming from Lake Victoria, even if it's coming from Philippines. But it's amazing that fish is cheaper in UAE than Uganda, and it's coming from here. So we have to check on all those things. How comes the fish is cheaper in UAE than in Uganda, than it is in Bwai Sekusatu, than it is in Busega? It keeps me puzzled all times. Fish is coming from here, and it is cheaper there, and it's expensive here. We have to go federal. Areas where around Lake Victoria, they will be the #1 beneficiaries of all the fish which is exported in Europe and in the Middle East. The tilapia, it is selling us a lot, and the Nile perch, but it's cheaper outside than here. So it rotates around governance. We just have to change government, and we go federal for Uganda to prosper.
Thank you, Mr. Bulira. Now, there is no doubt you are an educationist.
Yeah.
And the people continue to complain factually that the education system is one of the reasons for which Uganda has the bigger number of unemployed people, whether young or otherwise, with a section of unemployed and underemployed. What specifics in terms of reforms would you have to ensure that the education system matches with the market demand?
I think under education, we've all just been talking about this training people, that we are training people for their sake, and we are not training them to fit in this world. I think we need to sit and see how we can change the education system. We have a plan in our manifesto of changing the education system, and also putting a lot of more emphasis and resources in the innovation, in innovation and vocational education.
But the person you are contesting against is already done that. Do you think you have any vote in that line? He will tell you he's doing the skilling.
But it is the skilling Uganda, and I think it is under the State House. It is under State House. I've seen the State House comptroller visiting different skilling Uganda programs. But these are just showbiz and for accountability. You've seen President Museveni during the recent parish development model tour, touring furniture workshops, and after he leaves, they shift the furniture and take it back. You've seen, I saw in the slums of Kalerwe, their boys, their youth who brought a fake youth goats project. They just went to Kalero and bought goats. Then they brought him, showed him the goats openly, that these are the goats we have been rearing, and the money which was given to us under PDM. So it is a whole fake program. When you have a fake government, everything becomes fake. So these programs, the Skilling Uganda, it doesn't help you to train young girls in cosmetology, for instance, and hairdressing, and after training them, wasting taxpayers' money in training them, you leave them to the world. Or you give, I heard they were giving a dryer which is like 30,000 to someone whom you've invested in money to learn all those skills. It automatically is just going to sell that dryer to get something to eat. So they are not helping people. It is just a show. It's just a show for accountability and a gesture that they are training young women.
How differently will you do it in the
Yes. Before I've ever had an institute, Global Vocational Institute in Nansana, it was closed by police by that time when General Kaihura was IGP. And they said that they were suspecting it was training rebels for Dr. Kiyingi. I had a plan and a dream that I could train young boys and girls, especially child mothers and unemployed graduates, in practical skills like cookery, welding, decorations and events management, etc. My plan and my first graduates, after graduating, I could get 5 youth. They make a group of 5. If they are in hairdressing, I opened up a salon for them with all the machines and everything, and after and leave it to them. So these 5 collect the money made in a year, and they open up another salon for one of the 5. So it rotates like that. Then the boys who are in carpentry, if you open up a well-furnished carpentry workshop, they also do the same. If Skilling Uganda had the same system, it would be moving, but it is just for media. So I want to make a typically workable vocational program, well facilitated, and funding the trainees after the training, and also have a monitoring scheme to see that the funds that are injected in are well monitored. PDM, there is no monitoring. You saw Mr. Museveni, everywhere he was going, they were crying. The money is just given to NRM cadres. Under our new program in RPP, all the monitoring would be done by the federal governments, but not even cadres of RPP as a party.
Okay, you mentioned funding such people. What would you suggest as a sustainability source of income that would support such institutions?
In fact, we have a program of scrapping these PDM, Operation Wealth Creation, and parish development models, the MIOGA, and replace them with the Federal Economic Empowerment Program. The Federal Economic Empowerment Program will basically target young women and youth. And there will be a federal budget allocated to the FEEP. And it is from here that we shall get the funds to facilitate these projects.
Okay. Viewers, we are with Mr. Frank Bulira. He's a presidential candidate, and of course, he's already in the campaign. And as you all may be aware, voting is 15th Jan next year. We have, I think, 50 maximum or thereabout days between now and then. So let's talk about the taxation policy, Mr. Bulira Frank. People are crying out there that one of the reasons for which even the basic businesses are closing in this country is one of the reasons is, of course, the taxes. Yeah. And it's on record, I think, it's on record that most businesses don't even celebrate their first birthday. You start a business today, by, of course, 4th December, you are nowhere. Yeah. In fact, some of them, the worst case scenario is that after you have paid the rent for 4 months, people, they are closed.
They are closed.
Some have cried about the dollar rent in town, in the city, where all of us are. What is your plan?
I think regarding the taxes, it still rotates around presidency and system of governance, because I've interacted with different businessmen, local and externally, but they are all concerned with the same issue of unfair taxation. Basically, it is the cause of that, because someone goes to the village and sells his cows, comes to town and opens up a boutique, and after finishing the month she has paid, closes up. But the closure is basically because of unfair taxation, and because you've seen many money foreigners in the name of investors. It's not that I'm against investors, but there are people they call investors you find in Chikubo selling same things that our Ugandans do sell. They go in the same markets in Sharjah and Guangzhou in China. Then the Chinese bring their products here. They had given tax holidays. And Ugandans have no such favors of tax holidays unless you are connected to the president. So I think that has been the major issue and the major cause of business closures before even celebrating their first birthdays when the businesses opened up. And under my government, we shall have to make up an economic reform program that will create fairness of taxation and having a fairness to our wananchi before looking at the so-called foreign investors. In fact, on that, we are also basically focusing on agriculture, because agriculture being a backbone of Uganda, everything rotates around agriculture. Even the businesses thrive basically because of that background of agriculture as a backbone of Uganda. We have so many people who are, for instance, coffee growers, and when someone succeeds in growing coffee or selling coffee, he opens up an arcade, he builds an arcade. He opens up a shop in Chikubo, but getting the capital from the agricultural produce. We need to boost and put back the cooperative bank, the farmers banks, the regional farmers banks, to be helping our people fairly, because even the current banks, which are being monitored and guided by Bank of Uganda and government indirectly, have not been fair to our people. Just like my friend Jeno Muntu has been saying, it was the Honorable Nandala has been saying that the country is now in the hands of money lenders. So since the country was thrown in the hands of money lenders, people's national IDs are all in money lenders. Because they need their businesses to thrive. Someone has nothing to put there to keep moving. He ends up going to money lenders. So we need to put up farmers banks and also revive the cooperative banks, which used to help our fathers and grandfathers. We put back we promote the Bugishu Cooperative Union, the mango growers. There is the Chigezi, Chamuhunga, tea growers unions. We see how to revive them. Themselves, they can support their members in their businesses without even coming back to government.
Okay, thank you. I have, I think, two also last questions for you. One, you mentioned, of course, dealing with agriculture. And as a matter of fact, there is a very big problem, with no doubt, about the land question in this country. What plans does will your new government have to put in place in ensuring that the land question is dealt with? Because without solving the land question, honestly speaking, you may not be in a position to deal with to even develop agriculture itself.
Yes, you are so right. The land question is also equal to the to the financial issue of people running to money lenders. In fact, most of these poor Ugandans have been mortgaging their land to get capital to see that their businesses move for the next month. The land issue is becoming key nearly in every district. This land issue is also going back to governance. We need to check the Ministry of Lands plus Buganda Land Board. Buganda Land Board also used to have issues, but I think they are a bit minimal. Most of the issues have been rotating around the Ministry of Lands and people close to the presidency. I've seen some people like, there is Madame Fiona Chichoncho. She has been trying, I've been trying to follow her online. She has been playing some good part in trying to mitigate and trying to meet up people and resolve interfamily land wrangles and issues. But still, the land issue is becoming a problem. So many people have been forcibly chased away from their lands, and the bigwigs have not been touched. We've been hearing of Kalangwa in Kayunga and areas of Mukono, chasing away people and buying them forcibly. If you refuse to sell me your land, I'm going to take it forcibly and you will report me nowhere. So basically, we don't need to go deep into the land issue. It is all about changing government and see that we put in place better land policies, and we also make people who are chasing away people from their lands, we try them and we bring about sanity.
Okay. I have, elsewhere we have heard from some people with two divergent thoughts. Some saying that Uganda is a happy country. Some saying Uganda is a sad country with happy faces. And of course, some have called for reconciliation. Of course, you know, thinking that the country itself is broken. I do not know where you belong. Do you belong to the theory that Uganda is a happy country, or a sad country with a smiling faces? And then that will guide me on my next question, and then shall leave here.
I think Uganda is Ugandans. It is a sad country. It is a sad country, and there are people are with sad people are with happy faces, but with a sad country, because it's just basically our nature that we sometimes pretend and say we leave some things to God, but that rotates around. I think patriotism. People no longer love their country. It's not that they don't want to love their country, but because they have been governed badly, and in the long run they end up hating the government in power, and even hating their their country. But they must have hated the president and loved their country at least. That shows that it has gone to the worst.
Does your party have a reconciliation policy?
Yeah. We are going to put in place a truth, peace and reconciliation committee, which is going to see that we try to heal the wounds created by Mr. Museveni and all past leaders. In fact, the current wounds we've had for the last 3 decades plus are wounds created by Mr. Museveni.
Okay. I have 2 last questions now. Very tricky ones, but you must answer them for the purposes of your vote. If you were alone somewhere without prejudice, and there are specifics in terms of achievements that NRM has done, with due respect to your, and you say at least, okay, we oppose this man, but on this point, maybe he has a 10 out of maybe 15, or
I may say it is natural that anyone, there's no person who does positives or negatives only. Everyone can have good and bad. Just like we always say that Idi Amin Dada is tainted to be bad. But when you sit and analyze, he had more good things than the bad things. But one bad thing can spoil all the good things. So when I can review that Mr. Museveni, there was a time when the military was made to be disciplined, where people were running to the military without even running to the police. That time was there in some over 10 years back. That time, the military had discipline, and really people could credit, yes, there is corruption, yes, there is mismanagement of resources, but at least the military is disciplined.
Mr. Bulira Frank, kindly, let me even come closer. Don't run away from my question. You were answering in the past tense.
Yes.
I want you to answer in present tense. What are those? Okay, even if it's one good thing that you still see Mr. Museveni holds.
What he holds maybe is the way, you know, there are things which we have to learn from him, much as we don't support him. The way he calmly plays, the way he calmly plays his politics.
Would you consider him tolerant than any of you, or than most of you?
He may be, in case, even if he may be just doing it for showbiz, but that cover, because of late you saw how our brother Honorable Kyagulanyi went bitterly with Honorable Mpuga and group.
Yeah, sure.
such a thing would be amicably solved within their party without even chasing people from their positions, without throwing words to each other. Mr. Museveni has that special art of dealing with internal problems within his party and within his government. You see, he has fallen out with so many people, the Kano Mandes, the Chakabales and the Babazi Muzoras, and you find him bringing them back. Otafile was of late abusing the system. Yesterday I saw him with him smiling. So I think I can appreciate Mr. Museveni with that art of dealing with enemies and the people who could be near future enemies. That is the only thing I can appreciate from him.
This is now our last question, real last question. In the event that you are president on 15th Jan, and constitutionally you are sworn in as president around 12th or so May, coincidentally one asks you, and you have an opportunity to make executive orders on just 3 or 4 specifics. What are those things you would say? As president of this country, this, and the other must stop today.
Number one,
be done today.
Number one, in fact, in the first 2 weeks, is to have Parliament sit and see that Uganda gets declared as a new federal republic.
That's one.
Number 2 is freedom to all prisoners. People who have been arrested, the Dr. Kiza Besiges, our friends, the foot soldiers who have been arrested, Samu Mugumya who disappeared, and many others.
That's 2.
Number 3, it will be declaring a tax holiday to all agricultural inputs, such as tractors, hoes, fertilizers, and seeds, since Uganda is an agriculture economy.
Finally,
and finally, it would be changing the name of Uganda Police from Uganda Police Force to Uganda Police Service, and as a mechanism of trying to see that we demilitarize the police and make it to work for the people.
Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, what else do I add? See you on 15th Jan. Norman.
Thank you so much.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.